Good morning, children. Let us start with the last lecture of equation of a straight line. Okay, as you have already gone through at least three of such lectures. So now we are towards the end of this particular chapter, and in this last lecture also we will be dealing with some more questions. Okay, now the theory part is over. We just have to keep on solving different types of questions. Okay, so in this lecture also we'll solve 3-4 different types of questions with a number of parts in them. Okay, so as you can see, let us begin with the question first. A line segment AB meets x-axis at A. Okay, so once again the question is about a straight line. It's a line segment AB, okay, which is meeting x-axis also and y-axis also. It meets the x-axis at A and it meets the y-axis at B. Okay, so just to have a general idea, let us have a rough sketch. Okay, suppose this is the point A, okay, and this is the point B. Okay, so this is a line segment AB, and it is also saying that this line AB is meeting the x-axis at A. So this point has two characteristics attached to it. This point is lying on this line also, and this point is lying on the x-axis also. As you can see over here, it meets, the line segment AB meets x-axis at A. That means this point A is lying both on this line segment also and on the x-axis also. Okay, so any point on the x-axis will have the coordinate y coordinate 0. Okay, so I am taking this A point to be A comma 0 because x coordinate we don't know and y has to be 0 because this point is on the x-axis. Similarly, point B will have the x part 0 and y part we don't know, so I am going to have B in place of that. Okay, because you see this line is also meeting y-axis at B. So this point B over here is lying on the y-axis also. So any point on the y-axis has the x part 0. Okay, so this is that line segment that they are talking about, and these are the 2 points. Now, read the question further. P point, which is another point, which is the third point, divides this line AB in the ratio 1:2. Okay, so obviously point P will be lying somewhere over here. So I am going to mark down P 4, -1 is dividing this line AB in the ratio 1:2. Okay, so by having a look at this diagram, now you can recall that this is a part of the section formula that you had discussed earlier, that you have studied earlier. Okay, so now let us, after drawing the diagram, let us see what all things have been asked. Find, number 1, the coordinates of point A and B. Okay, so although I have written A and B in terms of the coordinates, but we still don't know the actual value of A and B over here. Okay, so we have to find out, for the first part we have to find out the real values of A and B so that we can write the coordinates of A and B. Okay, so obviously by looking at the diagram you can see that we can apply section formula over here and we will be getting the value. So you see this point P, what is the x coordinate? It is 4. So let me write down the x coordinate. You see over here, the x coordinate of point P can be written as, now apply the section formula, this ratio which is 1, this number 1 multiplied by 0, so 1 into 0 plus 2 into A, which is going to be 2A, upon 2 plus 1, which is 3. Okay, so for this you must remember the section formula, equal to, okay, equal to, what is the x coordinate of P? X coordinate of P is 4. Okay, so I will write like this. Okay, now you cross multiply over here, 1 into 0 obviously will give you a 0, so you are left with 2A is equal to 3 into 4 becomes 12. Therefore the value of A becomes 6. That means A point is actually 6, 0. Similarly, now for getting the B coordinates, we can have a look at the Y coordinate of P, and the formula for that again will be 1 multiplied by this time B. So you have 1 multiplied by B plus 2 multiplied by 0. Okay, 2 multiplied by 0 divided by 2 plus 1, which is again going to be 3. And this time the Y coordinate of P is minus 1, so I am going to write minus 1 over here. Okay, 1 into B is B, and plus 2 into 0 will obviously give you a 0, so there is no need to write anything over here. 3 into minus 1 will give you a minus 3. So your point B now becomes 0, minus 3. Okay, so this is how, by applying the section formula, we have found out the first part. Now let's go to the second part, which is actually more related to the chapter that we are doing. The equation of a line which is passing through P. Okay, so we have to find in the second part the equation of a line which is passing through P. So where is P? This is P. Do we know P? Yes, we know P. So there is a line which is passing through this point P, and what is the second condition? And it is perpendicular to AB. Okay, so this is the line segment AB. So the line which is passing through P has to be perpendicular. Okay, so has to be perpendicular to the line AB. So I'll write down this is our line, which is required line. Okay, so check if you want to find out the equation of this particular line. Is there a point that you know? Yes, we know this point P because this line is passing through this point P according to the question. So we know a point which is P4, minus 1. So do we know the slope also of this line? If we can get to know the slope of this line, then we will apply the point slope form. Okay, so although we don't know the slope of this line, but we do know that this particular line is perpendicular to the line AB. So if we can find out the slope of AB, then we will be able to apply the perpendicularity criteria to get the slope for our line. Okay, so first of all, find out the slope of line AB. Okay, and that is very easy because we know point A also, we know point B also. So I will apply the formula y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, which is the slope formula when 2 points are given. Okay, so whichever point you want, you can take this point to be x1 y1, you can take this point to be x2 y2. Okay, so now you see y2 minus y1, that means 0 minus of minus 3, 0 minus of minus 3 divided by x2 minus x1. So x2 is 6 minus x1 is 0. So minus of minus will become plus 3 and upon 6. So this becomes 1 upon 2. Slope of the line AB is 1 upon 2. Therefore, slope of the line of our line, we can say slope of our line, which is this line, will be how much? Apply the perpendicularity law. What is that rule? Whenever two lines are perpendicular to each other, then their slopes will be reciprocal with an opposite sign. So if the slope of line AB was 1 upon 2 plus 1 upon 2, then the slope of our line will become minus 2 upon 1, which is actually minus 2. Okay, applying the perpendicularity law. So we know the slope now, which is minus 2, and we know the point through which the line is passing. So using the point slope form, okay, so using the point slope form, now we can say y minus y1 is equal to mx minus x1. Okay, so y minus, now this y1 over here, what is the point? This point. So minus of minus 1 equal to m. What is m? M is minus 2 x minus x1. x1 is 4 over here. Okay, so y minus of minus becomes plus 1 equal to this minus 2 goes inside, you have minus 2x plus 8. Okay, this minus 2x can come to this side, so you will have y plus 2x equal to 8 was already there on the right side. This one will go to the right side, become minus 1, so 8 minus 1 is 7. So this is the answer to the second part of the question. Okay, so this is how we will be solving the different parts of the question, and we may also have to apply section formula, midpoint formula, and so on and so forth. Now let us move on to the next question. Okay, so here's the next question for you. Question number 2. I have already written it down. A, B and C are the three vertices of a triangle ABC. Okay, so roughly once again let us draw the triangle ABC over here. So we have A, which is 1, 2, then we have B, which is 3, minus 4, and then there is a C point, which is 5, minus 6. Okay, so these three are the vertices of triangle ABC. Find number 1, the equation of the right bisector of BC. Right bisector. So all these, if you see the first two parts, they are related with they are related to the finding of the equation of the line. Okay, so the equation of the right bisector of BC. Now what do you mean by right bisector? Right means perpendicular, and bisector everyone knows, which divides the line into two equal parts. So where is that BC line? BC line is this line. Okay, so where will be the perpendicular bisector of this? Will it be a line? Yes, obviously it will be a line. It is a right bisector, so that means a perpendicular bisector. So the midpoint of this BC, through the midpoint there will be a line running like this. Okay, so this is the perpendicular bisector of BC. Okay, so this is the perpendicular bisector. As you can see, these two parts will be equally divided. This BC line will be equally divided into two parts, and then this line will be running at 90 degrees. Okay, we have to find the equation of this line. So this line is our line. Okay, for the first part. For the first part, this is our line. Okay, and we have to find out the equation of this line. Okay, so for finding out the equation of this line, we must know either 2 points lying on the line, or we must know 1 point and the slope of that line. Okay, so let us see how can we find the slope of this line. Very easy, just now we have done in the first question. If we can get the slope of BC, then we will apply that perpendicular law to get the slope of our line. Okay, so let us first find out slope of line BC. Again, use the formula y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Now I am not going to write down x1, y1, x2, y2. You can choose whichever points you want. So y2 minus y1. Now this time I am going to take this as y2 minus 6 minus of y1. So y1 is minus 4. So I am going to put minus 4 upon x2. x2 is 5 minus x1. x1 is 3. Okay. So minus 6 plus 4 upon 5 minus 3 is 2. Okay, so here you get minus 2 upon 2, which is minus 1. Okay, so the slope of BC is coming out to be minus 1. Therefore, slope of our line, once again, will be how much? Reciprocal of 1, which is also 1, but with an opposite sign. So it was minus 1, here it will become plus 1. Okay, so the slope of our line has now been found out. It is plus 1. Now if we can get 1 point also lying on the line, so that point lying on the line is this point. Let me call this point to be M over here. Okay, so who will tell me what are the coordinates of this point M? What is the peculiar characteristic of this particular point M? Yes, it is the midpoint of BC, because this was the right bisector. Our line was the right bisector. Bisector means dividing into equal parts. So you can apply the midpoint formula to find the coordinates of M. Okay, so M we can find out by using the midpoint formula. What is that midpoint formula? x1 plus x2 by 2 comma y1 plus y2 by 2. That's the formula. So we can easily now put the values. This is x1 3 plus this is x2 5 divided by 2, and then similarly for the y portions minus 4 minus 6 upon 2. Okay, so this comes out to be 5 plus 3 8 divided by 2 will give you a 4, comma this will be minus 10 divided by 2, which will be minus 5. Okay, so the point M now has come out to be 4 comma minus 5. So now can we apply the point slope form? Yes. So using the point slope form, once again you can use y minus y1 is equal to m x minus x1. So y minus, now where is my y1? Now my y1 is this because my point is m. So y minus of minus 5 is equal to m. What is the slope? Slope is 1. Okay, x minus x1. x1 is 4. Okay, so y minus of minus 5 makes it plus 5 equal to x minus 4. So you can write y is equal to x. Minus 4 is on the right side. This 5 can also go to the right side, will become minus 5. So minus 4 and minus 5 will make it minus 9. Okay, so this is the answer to the first part of the question. This is the equation of our line, which is the right bisector of BC. Now let us move to the second part of the question, in which it has asked the equation of the right bisector of CA. So it is still the right bisector, but this time it is CA. So CA line is this line, so its perpendicular bisector will pass through here, somewhere over here. Okay, so somewhere like this part and this part, once again they will be equal, and this angle will be 90 degrees. So in this case, this is our line for the second part. Okay, so I have marked the line for the second part of the question. Okay, so this time right bisector of CA. Okay, so just like we found out the equation of this right bisector for the first part, equation of the right bisector of BC was this line. So this line we found out in the first part to be x minus y is equal to 9. Similarly, using the same process, you can find out the equation of the second part also. For the second part also, equation of the right bisector of CA. So this is the right bisector, which is our line for the second part. Okay, so using the same procedure you can apply, and you will get the equation for the other line for the second part as x minus 2y is equal to 7. Now what is important here is the third part for you to understand. In the third part, you see they have asked you the coordinates of the circumcenter of triangle ABC. Now circumcenter obviously means a point. Okay, that is why they are asking the coordinates of that point. So what is circumcenter? If you remember in one of the previous lectures, we had discussed centroid. Centroid was also a point. Okay, centroid was the point of intersection of the medians of the triangle. Similarly, circumcenter, as you can see, I have marked the circumcenter as C dash. It is also the point of intersection, but not of the medians. It is the point of intersection of the perpendicular bisectors of the sides. Okay, this is the side of the triangle. This is the perpendicular bisector. This is the side of a triangle. This is the perpendicular bisector. Similarly, there will be a third perpendicular bisector also. So they are intersecting at this particular point, which is the circumcenter of the triangle. Okay, so obviously for getting the coordinates of this point, we can solve the equations of these two perpendicular bisectors, which we have found out over here. These are the two. This was for the first case, which we calculated. This is for the second case, which you will calculate. I hope you will calculate it. Okay, I have taken this directly. So these two lines have to be solved simultaneously to get the circumcenter. So let us go ahead. We have x minus y is equal to 9 as the first equation, and x minus 2y is equal to 7 as the second equation. We will solve them simultaneously. So what do we have to do? We have to subtract, because x and x, they have same signs. So subtracting, you have a minus here, you have a plus here, and you have a minus over here. X and minus x, they get cancelled. Minus y plus 2y will give you a plus y, equal to 9 minus 7 will give you a 2. So the value of y comes out to be 2 by substituting. So you can write down by substituting the value of y in equation 1. So you can call this to be equation 1. Okay, so by putting the value, so you have x minus y. Y value you have got as 2, so you will put 2 equal to 9. Therefore your x value comes out to be 11. Therefore your circumcenter will become 11, 2. Remember, the x part is 11 and the y part is 2. So 11, 2 are the coordinates of the circumcenter of this particular triangle. Okay, so this was the third part. I hope you have understood. There are points like centroid, there are points like circumcenter, orthocenter. There is a question on orthocenter also solved in your book. So I hope you will go through that on your own. We have discussed 2. Now let us move on to the last question for this chapter, which is question number 3. Okay, so here is the last question for you. Find the equation of a line. Once again, it is about the equation of a line which is perpendicular to this line. Okay, so that means our line is perpendicular to this line. So if we can get the slope of this line, we can get the slope of our line also. Okay, so let us first of all find out the slope of this line. So we have x upon a minus y upon b is equal to 1. So you take the LCM will come out to be AB, A into AB. So A goes 1 times, A ones are A, so there is B remaining. So you have BX minus, similarly you have AY is equal to 1. Therefore you have BX minus AY equal to AB. Okay, so we can write AY equal to bx minus ab. These are simple shuffling of things from right to left so that we get the standard form, which is y is equal to mx plus c form. If you see, I will divide this side by a, so I will have to divide this side also by a. So you see a and a gets cancelled. We get y is equal to b upon a x minus a, and a here gets cancelled, so you get b. So now if you compare this equation with the y is equal to mx plus c form, what do you see as the slope of this line? The slope of this line is b upon a. The slope of the given line, this line, is b upon a, and our line is perpendicular to this line. That means slope of our line will become reciprocal of this, so it will become a upon b instead of b upon a, and here the sign was positive, so we will put a minus sign. Okay, so we have got the slope of our line. Now if we can get one point also lying on our line, we can apply the point slope form. So now read the question further. It says, find the equation of the line which is perpendicular to this line at the point where the given line meets the y-axis. So that means, suppose that this is the diagram over here. This is my y-axis, okay, and this is that line. Suppose this is that line, okay. This line, x upon a minus y upon b equal to 1. Suppose this line is meeting the y-axis. You see, given line meets the y-axis. So this given line meets the y-axis over here. What is the special thing about any point lying on the y-axis? Its x part will be 0, okay, and the y part will be obviously there. So y part will be there. So now that means if we want to get this particular point, suppose this point is P point, okay, for getting point P, what we will do is we will put these coordinates over here in the equation. Let us see what we get. So you see, for P, for getting point P, what we will do is the x part is 0. So I am going to put 0 over here. So 0 upon A minus y upon B is equal to 1. Why have I put 0 in place of x? Because this point is obviously lying on the line, so it must satisfy the line. Okay, so 0 upon A is 0, so you get minus y upon B equal to 1. That means y becomes minus B. So now this point, instead of 0 comma y, I know the value of y now. Y has come out to be minus B. Okay, so now I know this point P, which is 0 comma minus B. So let me write down, point P is 0 comma minus B. Okay, now go back to the question. The question says we have to find the equation of the line. Which line? Which is perpendicular to this line. Which line? This line. So our line is not this line. This is this given line. Okay, our line is perpendicular to this line. So where? At the point where the given line meets the y-axis. So that point is this point. So at this point our line is running perpendicular like this. Okay, please understand this carefully. This is our line that they are talking about in the question. This line is this line which has been given in the question. Okay, and our line is perpendicular to this line at which point? At the point where the given line meets the y-axis. So you can see over here. Okay, so for getting the equation of our line, we needed one point. That point is P. So I'll put a double tick over here. And we also know the slope of our line. Slope of our line is minus A upon B. I am putting a double tick over here also. Okay, so now using the point slope form, okay, y minus y1 equal to mx minus x1. Okay, so y minus, where is y1? This is my y1. So y1 is minus b equal to m, slope of our line. Slope of our line is minus a upon b, x minus x1. x1 is 0, so you don't have to do anything over there. Okay, y minus of minus b will be plus b equal to minus ax upon b. This b obviously can come this side, so it will be by plus b square is equal to minus ax, or you can bring everything onto the left side. You can say ax plus by plus b square is equal to 0. Okay, so this is the final answer for the line that was asked. Okay, so such questions are expected to be solved by you after practicing. I'm sure you will be able to solve these questions. Remember, you have to read the question slowly, one point at a time, and keep noting the information that the question is providing you. Okay, these questions were the different types of questions that will cover most of what has been given in the exercise. Now whatever questions are left, I expect you to solve them. Okay, so that if you have any problems, you can always ask. Okay, thank you.